Hi guys, welcome to my channel Lush Gardener. I hope you guys are fine and are safe. So this is one of the variety of Cotyledon. I'll put the name on the screen. Now the name that you're seeing on the screen is basically the genus, but there are like thousands of varieties under the same name. Now I'm not able to identify this, but I'm sure that it is a Cotyledon variety. I'm 100% sure that it's a Cotyledon variety, but I'm not very sure what exactly is the name, because there are a lot of confusing names like chalk stakes, Cotyledon chalk stakes, Cotyledon, different names, but I'm not very sure. But the story behind this is, ever since I got this Cotyledon, it was in a very bad shape. To be honest, at one point I thought it wouldn't survive because it was extremely dehydrated, but this is how it tends to look right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the pictures on the right hand side. This is how it started to progress. You can see it was extremely dehydrated from the day I got it, and then later on it just continued to keep getting dehydrated, and I was not very sure what exactly is wrong. Then I realized that probably I added a little bit extra garden soil, due to which it was getting compact, and probably I had not filtered the garden soil. So I went ahead and did all the filtration. I changed the soil, I changed the pot, and you can see on the images how desperate the succulent was asking for help. It couldn't absorb any water that I was adding into the soil, because the soil was very compact, due to which it kept getting dehydrated. Though I could see a lot of new growth, but the succulent kept getting dehydrated. And now this is how it looks finally. I filtered all the garden soil. I made a very gritty mix, and I placed it in indirect bright light. I moved it from morning direct sunlight, because earlier when it was getting wrinkled, it was in morning direct sunlight. And now after probably 2 or 3 months, this is how it tends to look like. Now it is being kept in indirect bright light, so it has completely plumped up. All of the leaves are very plump. A little bit of cobweb over here because I haven't been paying attention, because I thought that it's not going to survive, but luckily it has come back. You can see the wrinkles, a little bit of wrinkles are still present. This one is also doing quite well. Now this succulent has a lot of farina. You can see a little bit of that got disturbed over here and over here. This is usually while repotting this happened, but so far the succulent is doing excellent. There's a small little tiny new growth. There's small little tiny new growth that is happening. As you can see over here, there's a small little tiny new growth which looks very healthy. So I hope that it tends to grow. This particular leaf has completely lost all of the farina, so it's absolutely fine. The new growth will have the farina. So far the succulent is doing excellent. It has revived. I'm quite happy now. All I have to do is continue to give it a good amount of indirect bright light. I won't expose it to direct sunlight right away, because it still has to recover. A little bit of wrinkles are still present, and once it gets a little bit more of growth, then I will slowly introduce it to morning direct sunlight, because they do prefer a good amount of light, because you can see they have farina. They can protect themselves from direct sunlight, but I had to move it because it was getting dehydrated. Probably the roots were not formed, but now I think the roots are functional. They have started to absorb that water, so it's slowly starting to plump up. You can see the leaves are more plump right now, so I will keep it. So the basic care remains the same. The soil has to be loose, porous, well draining. Give it a good amount of watering. Whenever you tend to see that there are wrinkles on the leaves, keep it in indirect bright light. But if you feel that your succulent is plump, give it a good amount of morning direct sunlight for 5 to 6 hours. You can see these edges, they get even more darker when they tend to get that good amount of light. So pest attack is not much of an issue, because they have this waxy coating of farina, thick farina on their leaves. So mealy bugs are not much of an issue for these succulents. They tend to do quite well. They belong to the Cotyledon variety or the genus, so they tend to go dormant during the summers, and winter is their growing period. So if you are into adding fertilizers, you can do it during the winter period. Do not do anything during the summers. So it looks absolutely beautiful. I'm quite happy. Hope it starts to put out new growth and it becomes a little bit more bushy, because this plant tends to become very bushy. It tends to grow vertically. So fingers crossed, let's see what happens next. It's going to be kept in indirect bright light until it starts putting out a lot of new growth, and then I will slowly introduce it to morning direct sunlight after acclimating it. So guys, I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe and keep planting.